whole mindset of if you crank it up just to show it to them, they're gonna be like, whoa, what? I don't know about all that stuff. So what we're gonna do is when they're on their back, we're transitioning to their side. Do not start it flat and then raise it back up. Start it up and lower it down. Okay? If you start it flat and you're working your way up, you're basically, they're always going to be comfortable laying on their side until they fall asleep at night, right? It's their position. So they're going to put themselves in a position to be comfortable and fall asleep. We want to create a position that's still comfortable, we know it's comfortable, and then lower it into just a maximized perfect comfort. My goal too is you're not going to go any more than, like 1 to 3 inches, okay? So my main goal with the hip is to straighten this leg out. If you straighten this leg out, you straighten out the hip. If you straighten out the hip to here, then all you have to do is worry about the 21% to straighten out from here. Now we have maximized circulation, maximized blood, maximized oxygen. Now we can get at deeper stages of sleep for longer periods of time. More importantly, we can get the REM sleep that we need to survive life, right? This hip is everything. Most people do this with what?
Pillows.
A pillow. They put a pillow between their legs. You can do it with the hip, or you can do it here. You can still put a pillow between your legs, a thin one if you have where your knees are hitting together. Okay, so why did I want his head up? Yes.
No acid
Now we
reflux.
talk about the acid reflex again. And here's how easy this display is. So this was the acid, remember, in your stomach? I'm going to go ahead and set that right there so you can see what it's actually doing. That's it, guys. That's it. Otherwise, I want you to know, if we were actually down here, that's what it would be doing. Okay? We need it here so they can see the water's naturally settling down. All right? That's the whole point of this. Every single patient, every single hospital in the United States right now is in an adjustable bed. Is that for comfort? No. It's for health benefits. We're trying to show them the health benefits of what's going on right here. My goal was to talk between 3 and 5 minutes. I know that sounds like a very specific number because it is a very specific number. Less than 3 minutes, no impact for some reason. Over 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, they forget you moved the bed. They think the bed is completely flat if you talk long enough. So, when they're on the side, I would bring up anything that was organically going on during your sale. If you were talking about their kids, talk about their kids. If you were talking about sports, talk about sports. If you're talking about yourself, get off the subject, y'all. Talk about something else, okay? So, I brought up the stages of sleep. I was in constant education mode. I was constantly trying to educate my customer. I figured myself as a sleep trainer, not a sleep expert. I was trying to train them in a better way to sleep, just like a dietitian or a sleep trainer, right? Or a personal trainer. So in order to do that, they need to know about the stages of sleep. Who knows the stages of sleep? Okay. What about the most important stage of sleep?
REM.
So by the way, if you do not know the stages of sleep, and you go around telling people that I sell sleep, not mattresses, that's a slogan. You don't believe it, or you know the stages of sleep, okay? That's just a slogan, right? In order to sell sleep, you have to know sleep. You have to know how important it is. You have to know what we're doing to avoid it, to make sure we're getting maximized sleep. Otherwise, you're not selling sleep. You're selling mattresses, right? So, REM sleep is the most important stage. What does it stand for?
Rapid eye movement.
Guys, it means just that. Your eyes are physically moving inside of your head. REM sleep is a paralyzed state of sleep. You couldn't move your body if you wanted to. Your brain subconsciously disconnects from the rest of your body. This is when your body resets. Did you guys know that the average person gets less than 15 minutes of REM a night, and you're supposed to get 2.5 hours? Is this a problem?
Absolutely.
Created by the government? I'm just
Trump.
So, we need to make sure that we're maximizing them so they can get in their deeper stage of sleep. Do you guys know what we do
That's
as
according
human
to Adam.
beings before we go to bed to keep us out of REM sleep or our deeper stage? Television, more importantly, our phones. Let's get into the phones for a second, okay? The phones emit a blue light. Every single phone does it. This blue light that is emitted as we stare at it in darkness makes our body fool itself to emit melatonin. We emit this melatonin as we stare at our phone before we go to bed. This melatonin is the only thing we use to go into REM sleep. Now, if you have burned up all your melatonin as you stare at your phone before you go to sleep, what are the odds you're going to go into deeper stages of sleep? None. Everybody pull out your phone. We're going to start with the iPhone because it's the one I know, and we're going to go to Android. You need to know how to set both, by the way. You think your client only knows the iPhone? You think they only have an Android? Okay, I don't know the Google, unfortunately. Somebody just came up yesterday, goes, what about the Google phone? I was like, okay, the iPhone. Go to your settings. Display and brightness. When you're in display and brightness, you're going to see something called night shift. Click on the night shift. It will ask you to set a schedule. They recommend 2 hours before you go to bed. If you go to bed at 9 o'clock, what time should it be on? 7. Okay? Whatever time you normally go to bed, it's 10, whatever. 2 hours before you go to bed. When you wake up in the morning, it's not effective because of the sun. Okay? So you don't have to worry about it in the morning. This is just before you go to bed. You set that schedule. Now I want someone to be brave and read to me what it says at the top of the iPhone screen. No, at the setting.
For night shift?
Yes.
Night shift automatically shifts the colors of your display to the warmer end of the color spectrum after dark. This may help you get a better night's sleep.
Why do they wait until you go in the setting to tell you that, guys? They want you on their phones. If you're on their phones, they're making money. If you're not on their phones, they're not making money. However, it's affecting our human lives. If you don't believe me, get on and Google it. It's crazy, okay? It's crazy. So, Android. Android, you're gonna pull down twice. You're gonna pull down twice, and you're gonna see something called a blue light filter. It is exactly the same thing. Set up a schedule. It'll do the whole thing that way too. So I'm working on Google to figure that one out. So you need to know both because you want to educate every client that comes in there about the blue light. What do you think they're going to say when they leave your store and go home?
Man, that guy knows his stuff.
More importantly, we want you to go and tell this to every family member. We want you to tell this to every person you come in contact with. We don't know this as a society, and it is completely destroying our average REM sleep. 10 years ago, the average person used to get an hour of REM sleep. Today, we get less than 15 minutes. Okay? It's not because we're all partying all night. It's because we are not allowed to go into a REM sleep because of what we're doing before we go to bed. All right, so this is option A, which is up in a customized sleep position for you. I'm going to put it in option B, which is flat. And I want you to tell me which one's more comfortable, up or down, A or B, okay? For sure A. And I'll be honest, guys, I think we're all right. I'll be honest, in the thousands of mattresses I've sold, in the thousands of people I've trained, I've had maybe 2 people tell me that B is more comfortable. What does that tell me? Not only is every patient in there for health reasons, it's also better for your body. It's more comfortable, naturally. But we get that comfort level by having them sit there for 3 to 5 minutes and talking. They forget you move the bed, you say, oh, by the way, this is a customized sleep position. This is that what I was talking about earlier, not this. Okay? This is this on your side or your back, guys. Okay? But we want to display this for the back now. All right, so then we're going to have them roll on their back, and this is when I'm going to introduce Zero G. Does anybody notice something different about ErgoMotion Zero G than anybody else's?
Feet go higher.
The legs are a lot higher. Do you guys know why we do that?
Elevate the
Well,
feet
just
above
like
the heart.
Timber, we bought the exclusive rights to Zero G from NASA. So the position that he's currently in right now is what is actually considered true Zero G. Now, if you've heard of Zero G, you've probably heard, well, your head and your feet need to be elevated above your heart to create Zero G. This is semi-true. Your head and your feet do need to be elevated above your heart to create Zero G, but the most important part to it is your feet have to be slightly elevated above your head and your heart. That creates true Zero G. And I don't know if you guys knew this, they still, to this day, shoot astronauts into space like this. Because they know if they do this, what is it doing?
Pressure.
Pressure. What about if they sit like this?
No pressure.
Pressure. There's one rule for an astronaut. Don't pass out, right? Don't fall asleep. We're going to shoot you up. We're going to take 8 Gs. I'm going to take 8 Gs and put it on you, but don't fall asleep, okay? Don't pass out. That's on you. But we are going to set you up for the best success. We've done it, so there's people that have done it. We succeeded. You just need to be able to do it, right? Still to this day. There's one other vehicle they put this in, tanks, right? So the military and Ergo Motion were the first people to ever put zero G in anything. Now it's everywhere. It's everywhere because it is important. Do I want someone sleeping like this, do you think?
No.
Nope. I prefer that they're in zero G for that 10, 20, or 30 minutes, whatever you prefer, as that circulation breaks down your day and helps your body better recover. How many of your clients need to recover from the day? All of it. So we have the circulation enhancer on, breaking down and creating better circulation. Most importantly, rebuilding, so we can stop doing that during your sleep and start doing it before you sleep. Also, what this does is because that ultimate circulation, your body and your heart don't have to work as hard. So if you could lay like this for 10 to 30 minutes before you go to bed, it would set up your sleep for the night. Guys, stages of sleep happen in stages. Every 2 hours they reset. The first 2-hour block is when you get 15 minutes of REM. That means most people are only getting REM in their first 2-hour block of sleep. The rest of the night they're tossing and turning trying to find it. It does not reset to and say, oh, next, we'll get you on the next one. No, it just keeps tossing and turning until it finds a spot where it can lay down for even a minute or two. And it's just at that point trying to catch up, which it never can, right? This all sets that up. It sets it up so all the stuff that they're doing right before they go to bed, now they can do while before rather than sleep. Okay? It's called true zero G. He's also in a natural seated position because of the Ergo Extend base, and a true zero G because of the Ergo Motion design. We have his head up to improve oxygen and blood up, his foot up to relieve tension off his lower back. We have that circulation enhancer on to improve circulation going through his body. Did you guys notice how I sold every single individual piece separately? That way I can start removing things separately and get down to literally where it's just head up and foot up. If you remember how important I told you the foot up was, that's why the free base isn't going to work. But what we will do is work something out. Okay? All right. Can after the sale, it's super important. I always said the exact same thing. Hey, congratulations on your investment in a better life.
Thanks.
Congratulations on your investment in a better life. Why congratulations over thank you? Who's a thank you about?
Me.
Who's a congratulations about?
Dan.
That's it, right there. Congratulate your customers, guys. They will be much happier because now you're actually congratulating them on the great decision they made, not thanking them for purchasing something from you. Thanks for, buying something from me. I appreciate it. Congratulations on your investment in a better life. They making an investment if they buy an adjustable base? Just financially. No. If I had talked to them, they know the importance of this adjustable base. That's why they're buying this adjustable base. They're making an investment in their life. I'm congratulating them for it. Let's congratulate him for not falling asleep. Let's give him a All right, so there's a couple things. We'll go over what sets Ergo Motion apart. I don't need to tell you guys how to close a sale. That's why you guys are the best. I'm not going to sit here trying to tell you how to close a sale. So you guys are the best. One of the things that sets us apart from everybody else is the articulated arm gravity assist motor. Do not say this to your clients, okay? If I come down here and hear somebody say, well, this is an articulated arm gravity assist motor, I'm going to start sending my children down here to slap people, okay? So, when we talk about the gravity assist motor, you can call it that. That's a good quick name for it. This only needs to come up if they're asking and questioning why this base would be more than another base, okay? Why are there so many of these bases and not their bases? Why is this one smoother, whatever the case may be? Almost every company out there uses a push and pull drag motor. Their push and pull drag motor needs equal amount of force to go up as it does to come down. So whatever's going out is the same that's coming down. Okay, so it's that same up and down motion. The problem with that is energy. There's a lot of energy consumption going up and going down. Plus they need standby energy on their box coming out of their wall at 24/7. Whether that base is moving, standby energy is constantly coming out of the wall. The other thing is safety. Because it's a push and pull drag motor, it's pulling itself all the way down, and when it comes all the way down, it creates pinch points. Pinch points are bad for your fur babies, your cats, your dogs. I have a son that'll stick his head in here to see how it works, and I have another one that'll calculate how much pressure is being put down. So, what we do is we use the gravity assist motor. So just like everybody else, are not like anybody else, we do raise our base, but it's sort of, instead of using a piston or a push and pull drag motor to go up, we're actually using an articulated arm. And how it works is it actually cranks the base up like an old school pocket watch. So if you take a pocket watch and you look inside it, all those gears are working together. That's what's actually using. It's not a piston being driven by a motor, it's actually just cranking screws in there together as the motor, and as it does that, it raises up the base. And as it raises up the base to its highest point, we stop. Now this is where we're different than anyone else. We stop our base, everybody else has to use the same amount of force to bring their base back down, right? We don't. We only use gravity. We let gravity and the weight of this mattress, or whoever's on there, lower this base. No energy. So we are actually just releasing it and allowing the articulated arm to lower itself. We're 80% more energy efficient than a push and pull drag motor. I'll say that again. We are 80% more energy efficient than a push and pull drag motor. We have zero standby energy. We don't pull energy from the wall. We do not need it. As soon as the motors go, it starts moving. Now you have noticed it's probably really, really quiet, right? I mean, I've been on the floor and moved the base and went, is this thing even moving? Because it's so quiet, I'm like, great. Now I'm trying to show a base and the thing's not even moving. Okay, every programmed Tempur-Pedic gets reprogrammed before it leaves the factory. We started a whole separate factory bay. So before it ever leaves our factory, they program the remote, they run the motors, they make sure it works before they ever repackage it and put it back into the container to ship it over. Okay, that's like crazy. But because we use this articulated arm, not only are we 80% more energy efficient, we're also by far the safest base on the market. Now, as this base comes down, it is going to come down on my arm. It is not going to put pressure. Okay, let me phrase it. It's going to put pressure, but the only pressure I'm actually going to feel is the weight of this mattress. That's what I'm actually feeling. The motor itself is not actually coming down and putting pressure on my arm. It's the weight of this mattress that's actually putting my weight on my arm. What I suggest before you guys do this in your store, in front of a customer, do it to yourself so you can feel how much actual pressure is coming down, right? We in 16 years, this is specifically for you guys. Do not say this to your clients. In 16 years, we've never taken a claim at ErgoMotion for a penny. Not once, okay? We think about everything. We're also worried, we don't want, if somebody has their hand here, gets pinched, a dog, whatever. The whole point about this display is to show them that we are the safest, most energy efficient base on the market, okay? So the articulated arm, and by the way, that motor comes in every single ErgoMotion base. Every one that we make. That's why, if you've ever noticed ErgoMotion, you can take the legs off and put it directly on the floor. Did you guys know that we made the Ergo and the Ease, not the Ergo Extend, specifically for storage beds and platform beds? That base is 3 inches thick. You take the legs off it, it goes directly on a storage bed or platform bed. Okay? That's what it was made for. Right? Alright, so the next thing that sets us apart is the decking. So every base has a decking, right? Right now, there's like a couple bases that have like a metal decking, right? That we know makes noise over time, so that's no good. The ErgoMotion bases and everybody else uses a wood decking. Now, in order to release the base in the United States, you have to have 6 layers of press MDF board, okay? 6 layers, or you cannot release the base in the United States. Guys, if the industry standard was 1, how many layers would they put in there? 1. Yeah, they're at a race to the bottom. It's hilarious, okay? Problem with MDF. High chemical adhesive to hold the wood together. It's chipped wood, chips of wood, okay? They glue it together and they press it. High chemical adhesive to do that. Second, they have to spray the base with a chemical to reflect bed bugs and dust mites, so they cannot release it in the United States. It's part of the industry standard. All right? That's if they use MDF. We're the only company on this planet that uses pressed eucalyptus wood. We use 11 layers of pressed eucalyptus wood. We use eucalyptus wood because it's 99.9% antimicrobial, which means it reflects bed bugs, dust mites, and allergens naturally. We do not have to spray a chemical on our base to reflect them. There's also a natural adhesive inside of the wood. So we use a cold press technology and a wood-based or water-based adhesive to hold the base together. We do not use chemicals. 0 off-gassing from the second it leaves our floor. It's 6 months of off-gassing when it gets into the client's home with the other guys. That's actually 6 months of it being on the container and getting to the United States. It's actually a 12-month off-gassing process. But on average, it's 6 months when it's in their home. This isn't as big of a deal right now as it's going to be probably in the next 6 to 12 months, to be honest. We're like the veins of the industry. We're connected with every single major manufacturer of mattresses. We're the first one to lock down the top 5. We hear everything. It's seriously becoming a thing. You guys will start hearing about it. California, it's insane. For some reason, Austin, Texas, it's It's insane. But then you come out here and you don't hear as much about it, but it's coming. The off-gassing is a serious problem. Why do we use 11 layers to everybody else's 6? Yeah, strong. We are the industry standard. We did all these tests. We put a 20-year limited warranty on this for a reason, all right? The 20-year warranty is part of that eucalyptus. We know that it's going to stay together. We know that 11 layers is where our maximum strength comes from. It's been that way for 12 plus years of us making it. We got hit with a 25% tariff. Could we have removed one of those layers and saved that 25%? It was actually more. It was closer to like 27 or something percent for one layer. Okay? Did we do it? No. No. We are not going to adjust our manufacturing or our standards based on anything else. We're just going to have to take the run on it.
And that eucalyptus is just in the extender, all three?
It's on all Ergo Motion bases, period. We do not release a base that does not have eucalyptus on it. Every single one. Even the I-Series, all of them. All of them. Same with the articulated motor. That's part of our standards. We do the same standard. Our legs, every single one of our legs threads the same. Every one of them. You can switch any leg to any base that Ergo Motion makes and it will thread on there. We make a telescopic leg that goes from 5 inches to 8 inches. So you start at 5 inches and you slowly can crank it up to 8 inches. There is no stopping points, there's no clicking. It can go exactly where you need it to be. Exactly. Okay? Across the board. That way you can sell dual split king adjustables without worrying about it. Okay? And one thing you'll notice with the extension decking, not the E's and the Ergo, is this base is going to come with 2 holes for the legs. You guys know why?
For the bed frame or for the.
Oh, the driver meant.
Yeah, so that was a side, yes, exactly. That was the side bonus. It's for if a driver gets there and spins the leg in there and snaps the leg off, what happens?
Put another base, so you have.
A whole other base. Not another leg. We can't bring in another leg. You have to take the base out of their home and bring them another one. What's the odds they're going to have you do that? Or what do you think they're going to call back and say, you know what, just bring me a box spring? Right? So we put 2 leg holes in every base. The I-Series has them, 2. The Ergo Extend has 2. The E's and the Ergo, because they are butterfly, only have 1. They come in a box, the other 2 bases, the E's and the Ergo, in a box that's no bigger than a 60-inch flat screen TV. It can go in an elevator. Okay? It's tight because it butterflies. Tempur owns exclusive rights to that. They're the only ones that are selling that base. So it comes like this, it butterflies out, you put the legs on there, put 2 bolts in there, and it's ready to go. It's already pre-programmed. It could not be easier for delivery. We've thought about it. We have an issue with delivery. We unfortunately can't train most delivery people because they're most third party. So we had to come up with the easiest way to get it, but when it goes there, it's not coming out. That's our main goal. We're doing statistics to prove how much more of our bases stay out than come back because of delivery issues. It's crazy. It's a crazy amount. Our bases stay in homes once they go out more. Okay? So Tempur, we also use the eucalyptus. The main reason we started using the eucalyptus, the number 1 reason we started using the eucalyptus is it reflects water. It's 100% water resistant. So what happens with normal MDF when water gets in there? Yeah. Cracks, separates, boils, expands. Okay, 2 problems with that: mold, right? Mold will get in there and grow. The second thing about that is it'll make noise. That's why we put the warranties we put on here. Ours base will not make noise. It reflects water. We're gonna go above and beyond. Our customer service. We're gonna make sure you guys all have our customer service number, right? We want you guys, if you ever get a phone call about Ergo Motion from one of your clients, to call us directly. Do not send it to your departments and try to have you guys handle it. We can deal almost every single issue within 8 to 10 minutes. You think they should contact us first?
For sure.
Yes, yes. Because what's happening, we're seeing a deal where it goes through all the pieces it needs to on your end, and by the time it gets to us, how quickly can we fix the issue? 8 to 10 minutes. And some of them waited 6 hours, 5 hours, 3 hours, just to get something that could have been fixed easily. Call us first, guys. Call us first. Any issue, remote issues, leg issues, they want new legs, whatever it is, call us. If we cannot handle it or it's a big, big issue, we will make sure that we contact and get a hold of you guys so we work everything out for the client. That's who we are concerned about, the end client. So call us first. We want to make sure that they are getting and keeping their base. Okay? Let's see here. We got trainers. I spent 10 years on the floor. I never seen a trainer from an adjustable base company come in and try to train me. So we do have trainers that care. We're gonna create a website for you guys specifically. I am going to Bedquarters next month for like 5 days to create something so you guys can get videos on all this stuff and you guys can use it at your stores for whatever. That's awesome. All right, so that's kind of the things that set Ergo Motion apart. That's just a few of them. There's a lot more other, obviously. Number one, I mean, I could go off, but that's some of the main reasons. And really, you guys just need to know those if the customer's asking why is this based on that. Okay. I have one more thing I want to talk to you guys about. We can get the next picture here. This is Mark. Mark is a World War II Purple Heart recipient. Mark was actually shot 5 times and stabbed and left in a ditch to die in World War II. Before he bled out, he dragged 2 of his comrades out of the ditch, saving all 3 of their lives. If he would not have done this, the convoy would have driven right by them and they'd all be dead. This man's a hero. This man fought in a war in World War II when the technology was not near as good as it is now. And he had over 300 jumps. So he used to joke around, well, they slow the plane down for these guys now. They could only go so slow back then. So what would happen is the parachute would open and it would stretch his back out. Now you can tell he's pretty tall. And he could only slow down that parachute, or him, as slow as he could before he hit whatever terrain he was coming into. It completely destroyed his lower back. He got something called lumbago. Mark came into my store for a lift chair. He goes, I need a lift chair because for the last 40 years my wife has had to help me up. I said, you are not going to believe this, but I had to be helped up to help you so you could be helped up when you go home. It's the circle of life. It was meant to be, right? So go back to the lift chairs, and he's telling me his story, and he hasn't been licensed in 36 years, and he's finally got to a point where he's tired of waiting for his wife to get done doing whatever she wants to do so he can stand up. That's the whole reason he's getting this lift chair. And I'm like, man, for 2.5 years, I have lived this exact same life. We were meant to, there's 15 other RSAs on the up list. What are the odds I talked to him? He gets back in the lift chair, he closes his eyes instantly. I said, Mark, are you sleeping in your recliner? And he said, every single night I sleep in my recliner. I said, Mark, you know there's bedding technology where I have this same type of thing that I can move into your bedroom. Would that benefit your health? He goes, it'd benefit my relationship a lot more. So we bought the lift chair on a separate ticket. We wanted to make sure we rang that up. That's why he came in there for. They used to give me a lot of crap when I was at work. We sell furniture too. So I wanted to make sure I sold some furniture that day. And then we went to the back to the sleeping cabin. Guys, the same process I showed you, the same process I showed the Property Brothers is the exact same process that I showed Mark. He bought the highest end mattress on the highest end base on my floor. It was a $12,000 ticket. You guys know my mantra, change the way they sleep to change the way they live. Otherwise, you're just changing out their mattress. And I live it and I breathe it and it's who I am. But how many of my clients do you think are actually believing that when they walk out of there? Maybe for a little bit, but most of them are still just changing out their mattress. So I want you guys all to know that you are winning every single day. If you do your job right, and you're actually custom fitting your clients, you're winning every day. Now sometimes you'll get cookies, right, for like 6 months, and they'll be like, thank you for this mattress. But normally we don't necessarily hear the wins. I didn't all the time. And I knew I was helping people. Mark was different. Mark came walking back into my store, and that's when this picture was taken 3 weeks later. No wife, no cane in his hand, and a license. And he says, look, no wife, I can do whatever I want. You're 94, man, like what exactly? As I want to see that license, who gave it to you? The state of Florida, guys. The state of Florida. And I'm convinced it works like this. Can you read this? No? Congratulations, you have your Florida state driver's license. Now, when he was in the store, he kept asking his wife for his cell phone. And every time he asked his wife for his cell phone, she brought over his cane. And I was like, okay, I gotta know what this is about. Why do you call it? What is this? What's going on? Because all these young kids can't do anything without their cell phone. Me either. That was this whole thing, right? So it's cane. But he came in, he goes, no cell phone, no cane, He goes, I want to show you something. Mark sits down and stands back up and says, no cane, no pain. I want you to know I haven't done that in 40 years. You reset my body. I was like, what? I was like crying, like, I love you, Mark. Right? you reset my body. I was like, I'm gonna literally tell every person I met that. Like, I reset a World War II body, or World War II veteran's body.